Welcome back to another episode of Cork and Board, ladies and gentlemen, where we pair good food with good wine. Today I'm going to be showing you a quick and super easy grilled shrimp skewers recipe. Now this is the perfect little summer dish because it's good for almost any occasion. It's light, it's flavorful, and it goes with almost any kind of meal, lunch, dinner, or even an appetizer at a grilling party. Of course, we're going to be bringing in some wine for this, and we're also going to make a pesto and tomato salad as a small side dish. So, without further ado, let's dive on in. I love shrimp. It was actually one of the first foods I started experimenting with way back as a 10-year-old learning to cook in his mother's kitchen. Now, shrimp is a wonderful meat. It's firm, it's got a delicate sweetness to it, but there's also a little bit of a robust nature to the meat itself. And so when you're coming to pairing a wine with that, you need something that's a little bit more than your regular white wine without having the full robustness of a standard red wine. So on this episode, we're going to split the difference and go for a rosé wine. Today's wine happens to be the Foreign Affair, which is a 2019 Ama Rosé out of the Niagara Peninsula in Ontario, Canada. I'm looking forward to it. I don't really know how it's going to taste beyond that, but we can only find out. The only thing that's really important though is that this is a rosé wine. It needs a very cold serving temperature. So we're going to pop this into the freezer and then get the rest of things going. While the shrimp is curing in the fridge, this is the perfect time to make our pesto for our tomato and pesto salad. Now, you can easily make a pesto in about 20 seconds by just throwing all of the ingredients into a blender and letting it go. But we're going to take this thing a little bit farther because I'm going to make use of one of my new favorite toys, which is my mortar and pestle. So this is a little bit more complicated where I have to add the ingredients in a very specific order in order to get the flavor profile just right. But before all that, I need to get some fresh basil out of the garden, so let's go grab some. Well, that was actually really, really simple. It's easy to make, easy to grill, didn't take long at all. We have now got to try our wine. See how this tastes. It smells more like a Chardonnay, actually. And it tastes more like one, too. This has definitely got a very silkiness, but that butteriness that the Chardonnay gets has a little bit more of that sharpness and bite to it, and I think that's coming from the red grapes. The Pinot Noir and the Gamay are giving it just a little bit of more balance, so that you've got something that gives a little bit of tartness, gives some butteriness, has a really nice acidity, actually. It's making me hungry just sipping this, but we now need to actually have some of our food, and let's start with our shrimp skewers. Now that is a good piece of shrimp. Lightly marinated, the lemon is balanced off by the balsamic and the oil. The garlic is very much prevalent, but it's not overpowering. And there's just that little hint from the thyme and salt. Quite nice. How does the wine go with it? Interesting. It's a little bit more astringent. We're getting a little bit more of the Pinot Noir flavor coming out of this. But still very smooth. The Chardonnay is really rounding this out. And I've still got just that little hint of sharpness from it. But now I need to try a piece of shrimp with the pesto already on it. Wow, just the kick in all of that pesto is amazing, and it's a wonderful complement to the primarily lemon tones in the shrimp. And the piece is just so well done. It's not rubbery yet, but it's cooked throughout. It's still got some warmth to it. Just a light little bit of char. Oh, that's just good. But how does it taste with our wine? Oh, I like that. The pesto is bringing out almost like a minerally taste, much like when I had the Allrum Straws Gruner Veltliner. It's very much like got this tingling on your tongue feeling without being overpowering. Again, the Chardonnay is working to smooth over a lot of these things, but the Pinot Noir is really starting to give it some good flavor, and the Gamay is softening out any of the harsher notes at the same time. Very nice indeed. But now we have one last thing to test, and that is our tomato and pesto salad. Ooh, there's almost a spiciness there. The garlic is much more prevalent here. I guess that's what comes from having the fresh pressed garlic and the sweet acidity of these Smarty and cherry tomatoes. Oh, that's quite good, and it's very simple, very pleasant, and makes me feel like I'm in a summer setting. Now, how about our wine one last time? Ooh, very interesting. It's gotten sweeter with this. The acidity in the tomatoes is giving this, and it's repressing that acidity and letting the sweetness of this Pinot and Chardonnay come forward, and almost letting an anti-alcoholic. You know how normally when you have a nice drink and you just feel that warmth rising up? I'm getting that kind of a feeling here, but it's not hot. It's a cold chill, like I've just had a really refreshing drink. And I would dare say that I have. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Well, that is it for this week's episode, everyone. We will see you all next week, and don't forget to like, hit that subscribe button, and give us a comment down below. If there's a wine or a dish that you would like to see on the show, list it out. I'd be happy to hear from you. Well, that's it again. See you on the next one. Take care.